You walk Japan's streets. You feel that calm, that quiet, and you think it's just how things are. You believe it's some happy accident. But this peaceful feeling? It's no accident at all. It's a secret, a carefully planned design woven deep into the very ground beneath your feet. And once you learn how they do it, you'll never look at any city the same way. So what is this secret design? It's not some ancient tradition or a single magic trick. It's a set of very deliberate, very clever rules for how cities are built. The entire system is designed around people, not just cars or businesses. The whole point is to make everyday life feel less like a frantic race and more like, well, just living. It all starts with how they organize things. Japan has a unique set of rules that keep noisy or disruptive places away from quiet homes. It's why you don't see a giant factory suddenly appear in the middle of a peaceful neighborhood. Then, they build everything to be walkable. The idea is that you should be able to get to a convenience store, a market, or even a clinic within a 10-minute walk. This means you don't always need a car, and it brings a totally different energy to the streets. And finally, they use simple but smart tricks to keep residential areas quiet. Little things in the road layout that stop drivers from using your street as a shortcut. Each of these pieces is a part of the puzzle. And in this video, we're going to break down exactly how they all fit together. So, how does Japan create this perfect balance of busy and quiet? You might think it's because they just let things happen, a kind of organized chaos. But the truth is actually the complete opposite. It's not a lack of rules that makes their neighborhoods feel so comfortable. It's a very specific, very clever set of rules. Most countries zone their cities into big, separate blocks. You have your residential zone over here, your commercial zone way over there, and an industrial zone somewhere else entirely. This often means you have to drive everywhere. But Japan does it differently. They have a system with 13 different zones, and it's all designed around one simple question. How much will this bother the people living nearby? So, a noisy factory or a massive concert hall can't just be built next to someone's house. The rules keep the truly disruptive stuff separate. But a small bakery, a little bookshop, or a doctor's office, those are seen as helpful parts of daily life. So they're allowed to mix right in with residential areas. This is the key to everything. The entire system is built around what's called the 10-minute neighborhood. The goal is for you to be able to walk to almost everything you need in 10 minutes or less. Your local convenience store, the supermarket, a clinic, maybe even a small park, it's all right there. This creates these wonderful little community shopping streets that become the heart of a neighborhood. People are always out walking, shopping, and running into their neighbors. You don't need a car for every little thing, which completely changes the feeling of the streets. And this isn't just a nice idea, it has real value. In a city like Tokyo, an apartment that's just a 5-minute walk from a train station can cost 8 to 15% more in rent. People are willing to pay for that convenience. When people live and shop in the same area, they get to know each other. They look out for one another. It builds a natural sense of community and safety that you just don't get when everyone lives in one place and drives somewhere else to do everything. It's less about strict separation and more about a gentle, thoughtful blend. Think of a place like the Yanaka district in Tokyo. You'll find ancient temples right next to a bustling shopping arcade, which then quiets down in the evening to become just another peaceful neighborhood street. It's not just about distance from noise. It's about the natural rhythm of daily life, where work, home, and community all flow together in one comfortable space. This is all by design, and it fundamentally changes the feeling of the streets. It's a philosophy that puts people first and cars second. You see it everywhere. Sidewalks are almost always clearly marked and wide enough to feel comfortable. A lot of the time, they even have dedicated paths to separate people walking from bikes or motorcycles. There are little details, too, like smooth ramps at almost every curb. It's a small thing, but it makes a huge difference for someone pushing a stroller or using a wheelchair. It sends a clear message. This space is for everyone. And it's not just about making walking nice. It's also about making driving a less attractive option, especially in quiet neighborhoods. This is where the design gets really clever. Think about the small back streets and alleyways in residential areas. Many of them aren't straight lines. They're designed with T-junctions or end in cul-de-sacs on purpose. This prevents drivers from using the neighborhood as a shortcut to get somewhere else faster. The only cars you see are the ones that actually belong there. This simple trick keeps the streets incredibly quiet and safe. It creates an environment where you feel comfortable letting your kids play outside, or just going for a slow, peaceful walk. It transforms the street from a simple path for cars into a real part of the community's living space. So it's not just the layout of the shops and homes, it's the actual rhythm of how people move through them. In most big cities, life feels like a constant rush. But here, the default way to get around, walking and using the incredibly dense and punctual public transport, naturally slows things down. It's a different pace of life. Quiet isn't just created by being far away from the noise. It's created by the rhythm of daily life. When you don't have to get in a car for every single errand, you stop just passing through your city. You start to actually live in it. You notice the little shops, you run into your neighbors, and you become part of the very fabric of the place. It's a system designed not for efficiency of vehicles, but for the comfort of people. But all of this, the street design, the slow pace of life, it doesn't just happen by accident. There's an invisible framework underneath it all, a set of rules that quietly shapes the entire country. It starts with the big picture, how land is actually used. In Japan, city planning is incredibly specific. All land is broken down into one of 13 different zones. Think of it like a playbook for building a city. Each zone has strict rules about what can be built there. There are rules for how tall buildings can be, and very specific rules about noise. This is why you don't usually find a noisy, late-night bar popping up in the middle of a quiet residential block. The system is designed from the ground up to protect that neighborhood peace. It separates the loud from the quiet, making sure home is actually a place you can relax. And this planning goes even deeper, right down to the layout of your daily life. Most neighborhoods are designed around what you can walk to in 5 or 10 minutes. Your local supermarket, the doctor's office, the train station, they're almost always just a short walk away. When everything you need for your day-to-day is right there, you just don't need a car as much. Less car traffic means less noise, fewer fumes, and streets that feel like they belong to the people who live there. But even the best design only works if people buy into it. And that's the other half of the secret here. It's a cultural thing. There's a shared understanding that you should always be thinking about how your actions affect the people around you. It's this idea of thinking for the group, not just for yourself. You see it in the small things. People aren't having loud phone calls on the train. They line up patiently. There isn't a lot of public shouting or confrontation. It's not that there are strict laws forcing this. It's just the default way of doing things. This idea of public quiet is created by the daily rhythm of life. It's the quiet calm of an early morning visit to a local shrine or the peaceful atmosphere inside a neighborhood public bath. These aren't flashy tourist attractions. They're just the backdrop of everyday life. So when you put it all together, you see that Japan's peaceful streets aren't a miracle. They're the result of a powerful combination. On one side, you have careful, deliberate city planning that builds quiet right into the environment. The physical design encourages quiet, and the culture makes sure it sticks. One can't exist without the other. So, that calm, that quiet you feel in Japan, it really isn't some happy accident. It's the result of deeply thoughtful design. It comes from specific city planning, rules for how land gets used, and streets built for people, not just cars. All of it works together to create a smooth, comfortable flow. But it's also because of the people themselves. They have this shared idea of thinking about others. It's what makes those public spaces truly peaceful.